Welcome back to this new live stream here on the channel, and on today's live stream we will be discussing the CPI inflation reports here on the channel, because yes, today is an extremely important day about what is going down here, what we'll do with the Bitcoin price action, and more importantly, what we'll do with the charts and what we'll do with our trades, because we have been trading Bitcoin for basically, the past week here live on the channel. We've been trading Bitcoin on the Telegram group, and basically the last three trading setups I shared were all perfect. I mean, the first one was like the drop off from $23,000 towards 21.4k, amazing trade. And right now we're in another one, and I'm going to show you exactly how we'll be trading Bitcoin today, what my strategy is here, and how I'm planning to take profits on this trade that is already more than 40% in profit. So let's dive in it. I've got a lot of things to discuss right now here. So once looking at the whoa, what is happening with my camera? Let me quickly fix this before going in towards the content. There we are again. So once looking here at the price action of Bitcoin, we can see we're having a small little bounce here back towards the upside, like we've been anticipating ever since we touched that 21.3, 21.4k, right? So we're currently in a profit of about $1,500 with this new trade, and the other trade is right now 32k in profit, what was of course a beautiful swing trade that I also shared on the channel. But right now it's important to see what we are going to do next with this trade here. And if I'm going to be looking at this trade right now here, you can see that I already set up my stop loss in profit. So if Bitcoin were to dump right now very quickly towards 21.5k, I'm going to get exited with profit. That's very important to know. I shared this already in my video earlier today. So if anyone who joined me on this trade as well don't know what I'm doing right now, this is what I'm doing here. So I'm going to go more in depth about this trade in a second, but first let me do the analysis. So if you don't know here, if we're looking at the last 3 times we had the US inflation reports come out here on the market, the effect was quite significant. We usually tend to see a big rally happening towards the upside, coming in towards the US inflation reports. And once it happens, usually, I mean, in December, nothing really happened because it came in exactly like everyone predicted. So it was already priced in, and that's why we had the movement towards the upside beforehand. And last time around was right here, and we also saw a significant movement towards the upside, but this time around it is different. So that is why I'm expecting that in exactly 27 minutes from now on, that is also the point where the US inflation reports are going to come out, the volatility on the market is going to significantly increase, because like you can see right now we're just a few minutes out here, and I placed this incorrectly unfortunately, but we are just a few minutes out right now before having the US inflation reports. Is exactly on this candle right here actually. And what makes it very interesting is that we so far have not seen really a volatile move on the market. So far we've not seen a big volatile move on the market. So far we've not seen a big dump before the event or a big pump, and we're just waiting to see what is going to be next. We're literally waiting on the report. So far there's not really something that's really priced in so far in the market. You can't see a big swing, and usually that tends to happen before the event. So I'm expecting that actually once the data comes out, we are going to see a lot of volatility, and which direction it's going to be towards is going to be quite important. And of course it really depends where the inflation is going to come in at. Is it going to come in around 6.2? Is it going to come in around 6.4? I'm going to talk about what kind of an effect that will be having, but of course once you do know where it is going to come in at, it's already too late to anticipate, right? So I'm going to talk about what my projection is right now for the inflation data in a second from now on as well. If I'm looking at the 1 hour time frame, what is right now the resistance to break? It's this level right here, the $22,000. If we break above it, the next target is going to be somewhere around the 22.5k region. What is of course this blue box right here, what was previously around a big support box, right? So that is the next target. If we do break above this green box, we're going to go towards this target, and this is also exactly the price target and my take profit target of this exact trade that I'm currently in here. So 22.5k is the place where I will be taking 50% out of my trade, move up my stop loss, and of course see if we could even ride it further on towards the upside. So more about that later on in the stream, because I'm going to anticipate everything live with everyone out there on the channel. Then if we're looking at the price chart of Bitcoin, you can see that in this region right here on the top side previously around, I've been talking about this many times before, we were creating somewhat of a rounding top, a weakening structure, and we were creating of course higher highs on the 4-hourly time frame while the RSI was forming lower highs. So we created that bearish divergence, and ever since we created that, we moved down. we moved down from the bearish divergence, and look what is happening right now. Finally, after a very long time here, we are creating a bullish divergence. So the market is moving down, and the price action, sorry, the RSI is creating a higher low. So we're creating a bullish divergence right now here on the 4-hourly time frame, and usually these divergences are very impactful. So usually a bullish divergence tends to lead to either sideways consolidation or either slight bullish relief. So I'm currently not necessarily expecting that, like, if there was no news coming out whatsoever, we should have been moving up a little bit here. But of course, today the market is going to get affected by the news that is going to get released. Looking at our trade setup that I exactly showed days before we crash. I mean, in the crash right here, I talked about how I'm going to be entering my trade right here. If you're following me on YouTube, Telegram, anywhere, Twitter maybe is. On Twitter, I'm not really showing my trading setups, but on YouTube and Telegram, I've been showing them quite often right now. And you can see so far a beautiful setup. And if you don't know already, with this trade that we entered, we already put up our stop loss in profit. So it's already a profitable trade here. But only I'm really willing to, of course, reach my price target, because then we're going to make a significant profit of like 100% of the trade. Currently, it's around, let me check, 42% profit. But of course, we're targeting that 22.5k, and then we're making like 110% profit. So still, the take profit is not getting reached yet so far, but we are coming closer and closer. And today could be potentially the day that we're going to reach it. Looking then at the big support boxes, I mean, it's very easy to play this range, right? So if you really want to be trading Bitcoin, I think the best thing to do is to look at the ranges. Not necessarily, of course, patterns are nice to trade. I think breakout patterns are beautiful to trade. But it is very important to look where the horizontals are coming in for Bitcoin, where the big support, where the big resistance is found. And I've been talking about how big this support was right here. And ever since we broke it, I straight away shorted it. Because if you break a support, you're just going down to the next level. And that's why I shorted this support box right here. If we today break below this support box right here, I'm going to short it again. I'm going to trade Bitcoin both directions. So if we break below the key support, of course, I'm going to get stopped out of my trade in profit. And I'm going to look for a shorting entry to short the market down to the CME gap around $20,000, right? So trade Bitcoin both directions. Currently, we are in that bounce phase, and the target is 22.5 to 22.6k, because that was previous support flipping into resistance. So that is also exactly the region that I'm willing to take some profits off my trade and potentially even open up a short trade, but I'm not thinking about shorting Bitcoin yet so far. So currently looking also on the 12-hour time frame, this is a crazy signal, to be very honest. This is an absolutely crazy signal. You can see on the 12-hour time frame, we're creating a higher low in the price section, and on the RSI, we're creating a significant lower low, and this is a hidden bullish divergence. If you don't know how it looks like, a hidden bullish divergence gets confirmed and created if you create a higher high on the price section and a lower low on the RSI, and this is a significant lower low on the RSI, and we already confirmed it because we've seen the bullish candle confirmation. So we confirmed a hidden bullish divergence. It could get affected by the news that is going to come out today, but it's definitely very interesting to see how that is playing out today right now. Quickly, also an update on the macro trend. On the bigger perspective, Bitcoin is looking bullish. Bitcoin on the 3-day time frame officially flipped bullish. So we are in a bigger time frame uptrend. Of course, it could reverse, but usually these trends tend to last for at least 2 to 3 months. And right now, we just started the trend. So I'm still expecting the trend towards the upside of this slight bullish relief could still continue before potentially coming down further, or before potentially creating a downtrend in general again here. Talking about the legendary support line, if we ever will touch it again, you will be the first one to know on the channel. I talked about it every single day while we were trading on it, and right now we are bouncing from it significantly, and I'm just waiting for potential retest to open up even more trades if we will ever touch it again. So if that ever will happen, I will let you know straight away here. Looking quickly at the Bitcoin shorts on the bitfinex chart, we can currently see that the Bitcoin shorts are massively increasing. Are the bitfinex whales anticipating something happening today? That is the question. Bitfinex whales are spiking in their short positions, and the longs are not spiking at all. So this is definitely interesting to see what is currently playing out on the Bitfinex charts here. Whales are creating some action. There are some things happening right now, and yeah, we really should be looking at that right now here. Someone is saying the internet is not looking good. Internet connection is extremely good here from my side. My YouTube studio is saying that the bitrate is good and that the stream quality should be good. So if there are any issues, let me know in the chat here, but there should be no issues with the stream at all. If there are any issues, I can't really work something out right now, but I will be fixing it for the next stream. But so far from my dashboard, everything looks to be okay. People are asking when are the CPI data coming out. It's exactly in 20 minutes from now on, so make sure to stick in the stream, because you will be finding out as first where the inflation reports are going to come in at. And then quickly looking at the 4-hour time frame on the dollar index. The dollar index has been in a very crazy downtrend here ever since it topped out around 115. It's been coming down very quickly. It's been coming down very quickly, and if I'm zooming on the 4-hourly time frame, we can currently see that it is moving down right now in the immediate short term, but more importantly, it's been approaching that resistance target. Previous support flipping into resistance, and on the bigger perspective, you can see that we're trading in a downtrend, and that it is likely for the dollar index to continue its trend towards the downside. So I'm going to keep continuing looking at this. The trend is your friend till it ends here, and right now it looks to be that the dollar index is going to continue down. And you do know the Bitcoin price action is inverted with the dollar, so if the dollar moves down here, the Bitcoin price action moves up, and vice versa as well. So this is very positively for the Bitcoin price action. S&P 500, important to look at. Of course, the stock market has massive influence on Bitcoin, and you can see that the stock market broke its 400-day downtrend and currently is approaching a key level of resistance. The question is, will we be breaking above it today here? We've been getting rejected by this level for quite a while right now, and if we do break above it, a confirmed break above it could also confirm, of course, more bullish continuations for Bitcoin. So that is also important to look at. Quickly also going to say it for my legendary swing trade position for Bitcoin. I mean, I already updated it earlier in today's update video on the channel, but currently you can see that I scaled up my Bitcoin legendary trade towards 145k. So I'm currently long with 145k in this Bitcoin long position, this swing trade. I'm still looking to scale it up even more. If we do have more downside for Bitcoin, I'm going to add more margin towards this trade, but as long as that is not happening, I'm going to be all right with my position. Of course, I'm looking to build up a crazy trade from off the bear market bottom. If we come down again to $19,000, I'm going to get stopped out of this trade. If we come down to 15 or 16k, I'm going to even build up a bigger trading position. So that is my strategy right now here. I'm trying to accumulate as much Bitcoin by swing trading Bitcoin with low risk, because I opened up this trade with 1.7x leverage, and I'm planning to basically harking the profits with low risk and high return potential, right? So that is basically what I'm currently doing, and it's making like 32k already, and I think it could make way more. If this is potentially the bear market bottom, I could make tons and tons of money with this exact trade right here. So make sure to follow me on YouTube to stay up to date about my trades here. And then also quickly, there was some issues. The reason why Bitcoin had some slight downwards momentum basically a few days ago was of course due towards BUSD. Of course, the SEC is currently seeing BUSD as a security. Well, in fact, no one is expecting to make profits from a stable coin, so it's a little bit weird. They're going in a lawsuit. If they win, it will be fine, but Paxos is still going to release BUSD till February 2024, so it should be alright. They're fully backed one-on-one, so there should be not any issues. But personally, if you want to be safe, if you have all your funds on Binance, I should still consider to have multiple exchanges and diversify your money over multiple exchanges, because then you are taking less risk. Of course, the best is to keep your money on a ledger, on the blockchain, because then you never can be getting hacked. But if you want to be using another exchange, I mean, for trading, if you're either using Binance, I mean, many people are using Binance as well. I'm using Bybit or BitGet. Check it out in the link in the description. If you sign up, you can get a $30,000 deposit bonus, but make sure that you have multiple exchanges before any exchange go bankrupt. You still have some funds on another exchange. So never put all your eggs in one basket. Please, if you're holding your Bitcoin for the long term, never hold it on an exchange. Always store it on a ledger. If you're trading Bitcoin, make sure to have it over multiple exchanges. That is my advice, how I should be doing it. So yeah, there are some issues with this, of course, but I don't think there's a real big worry. But of course, in case it goes wrong, it's important to pay attention towards them. Before going in towards the CPI data, that's going to come out in 50 minutes from now on. I'm going to talk about my predictions as well. The golden cross occurred on the Bitcoin price action. This is a tweet that is absolutely crazy. Every single time, usually like 80% of the times, once the golden cross happens on the daily time frame for Bitcoin, we tend to see it drop. And usually 80% of the times in the following month, we still tend to be moving up here. And right now, we've seen the dump happening. And I told you 80% of the times, once the golden cross happens, in the following month, Bitcoin moves up. So I'm still anticipating the same here. This is what happened last time around. We dropped and then we continued towards the upside, and I think it's very likely to see this. And this was in the previous bear market as well here on the right side in the 2019 bear market recovery phase. It looks extremely similar in my opinion. We did saw like 4 or 5 days of sideways consolidation, and we could be maybe seeing something the same. So on the right side, you see the bear market of 2019, and on the left side, you can see the bear market of right now where we're currently in. So this is actually absolutely crazy to see. Then also a quick thing I want to be saying here is that Robert Kiyosaki was saying A giant crash is coming, like he's always saying, to be very honest. Depression is possible. Fed forced to print billions in fake money. By 2025, gold will be at 5k, silver at 500, and Bitcoin on 500k. Why? Because the faith in the US dollar, fake money, will be destroyed. Gold and silver, God's money. Bitcoin people's dollars take care. So basically what he's expecting is that the world is going to die yet again, and that everyone is going to move to gold, silver, and Bitcoin. I think I agree on his vision, but not necessarily by 2025. I think it could take a little bit longer. But take into account the US debt ceiling got reached again here. I mean, I still think that dollars are a scam, like fiat currencies are a scam. I'm personally investing my own savings into Bitcoin because I believe it has got long-term value. If you're investing in Bitcoin and you're only investing for 2 months, I think it's a bad investment. If you've got a time horizon for like 2 or 3 years, I think you are, of course, the best is even longer, but then you're probably going to be profitable, right, when investing into cryptocurrencies. But quickly going to discuss what is it all about today here. It's the US inflation report. So the question is, where is it going to come in at? And let me quickly know in the chat, guys, where do you think the inflation is going to come in at? And I'm going to look it back if you're right or not, because we can always look the chat back here. So let me know what you think it is going to be, and maybe you're right, and then it's your lucky day, right? So currently it's also Valentine's Day. I don't have a date. My only date is with you guys here on the channel, live streaming with everyone out there. But currently we are expecting US inflation is going to come in around 6.2 to 6.3%. If it is just going to come in around this price, probably not a lot is going to be happening with the price action of Bitcoin. If it's going to come in higher than that, probably we're going to see a very big dump. And if it's going to come in lower than that, we're going to see a significant market rally. So make sure to pay attention towards that one. But you, of course, are here not to tell me, you're probably here not to hear me say what's going to happen. No, you want to know what I actually think that is going to be happening. And I'm quickly going to tell you, because I've got an anticipation about where we're heading towards and why it is probably going to pump today. Because I honestly think it's going to be moving up. Maybe not straight away, but just like last time around, right? So here we also had a small dump on the moment it came out, but then we saw a following up rally significantly towards the upside. And everyone is basically expecting like around 6%. And I think that's a very good prediction. But the reason why I'm thinking is we're not necessarily going to pump straight away, but afterwards we will. Because listen up to this, what I've got for you. So if I'm going to look at Trueflation, and Trueflation helped me a lot to predict exactly what was going down here on the inflation reports and all that kind of stuff here. And if I'm going to be looking at it, you can first of all see from year to date, their anticipation is that the real inflation was on 6.3% in the beginning of January, and it ended somewhere around 5.5, what means that it dropped by like 0.8%. According to them, according to the consensus, we're going to drop by 0.3%. So that's a little bit more that Trueflation is predicting. And also what I think makes it very interesting right now, and what is extremely important for the inflation data for like the Fed to potentially pivot, is to look at the food inflation. So if you're going to look at the food and non-alcoholic beverages, you can see that versus a month ago, we saw a decreasement of 1.4%. So food inflation is coming down rapidly. It's coming down rapidly, and that's important, because if I am going to look at the food inflation, this is the chart of the food inflation. This is where consumers really look at. If the prices in the supermarket go up, they lose trust in the government. They lose trust in the currency, and that is the last thing what you want here. So food inflation is extremely key important to hold it under control. And right now the forecast is that it is going to drop by like 1% or something. So that is quite significant, and that is a good development, and that could lead towards positivity across the markets, right? And optimism across the markets. Of course, it's also important to look at the core inflation, and since it's calculated year on year, and from December 2021 to January 2022, we saw an increasement of 0.5%. And if I'm going to be looking at right now, of course, since it's calculated year on year, this will also be taken in account. So the core inflation rate could also drop faster by 0.5%. So it could drop quite significantly. The consensus is that it's going to come in around 5.5%. It's going to be important to see where it's going to come in at. And core inflation is, of course, also very important, because that is basically how sticky the inflation is. If the inflation is not so sticky, the Fed is more likely to pivot way quicker. And in exactly 10 minutes from now on, we will be having the data. And if you're watching this live stream right now, you will be the first one to know what the US inflation reports are going to be here, because I will share it straight away on this stream. Usually the signs are a little bit laggy, but I've do got some notifications on my phone enabled where I do basically straight away see what the US inflation is, and then we can straight away anticipate it. So quickly going to talk about what I'm going to do with my trade, because currently I'm still trading Bitcoin, and usually I don't really like to trade news events here. So like I told you, already have set up my stop loss in profit, because there could be a massive volatile swing here. And that's why I want to say to everyone out there right now who's trading Bitcoin, who is in a trading position, or in general who wants to open up a trade, make sure your stop loss is either at break even or either in profit. Because if it's not, there's a very big chance you're going to get wrecked, because maybe, we don't know, we don't have any effect on the news, maybe it's going to come in higher than expected, and then the markets are going to tank significantly, and we could drop below support, and we could be maybe considered to open up a short position. So it's extremely important to keep your stop loss in profit or either at break even. So make sure to have that. At least, of course, I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor in general, but this is at least what I am currently doing. I don't want to make a loss on this trade. I only want to make profit. And either I'm going to close this trade in like $200 profit, or either I'm going to close it in like $4,000 or $5,000 profit. So it's like a win-win situation. I'm not going to be risking it right now to lose it all, right? To lose my whole and liquidate my whole position, because I need to trade with these funds to gather more money in the future, to make more trades, right? So it's important that you have risk management enabled. Currently, to be exact, we are 8 minutes out here before we're going to get the US inflation reports. And let me know if you have some questions real quickly in the chat here. It's 7.5 minutes, like less than 8 minutes before it's going to come out here. And another very interesting take. I've been live streaming CPI reports for like 1 year, maybe even longer right now here. Also FOMC meetings. And there's one thing that I really learned. And of course it could be different sometimes, like 80% of the times. There's one thing that I really learned. And that is that once the price of Bitcoin, or like, usually Bitcoin, of course, drops before the reports happens, it tends to pump once they come out. And also vice versa. If it pumps and the reports come out, it tends to dump. So it is interesting to see we're dumping right now. So could be signaling we're going to get a pump. Quickly taking a shake. Just came from the gym. So not just like 2 hours ago, but always important to take your protein. Let me check her. Still not being front run. Yeah, and that is what makes it very interesting. We are coming down quite quickly right now. We're still very comfortable with our trading position, so no need to worry about that one. But we are currently in a slight uptrend, and we are in a losing structure. The momentum is really drying up right now here, and basically the volatility as well. So we're creating this very ugly drawing. Let me do this correctly. We're creating somewhat of a rising wedge, right? So this is a weakening structure, to be very honest, on like the lower time frames. But of course, it can all get affected by the news events. So I'm not going to trade patterns right now. You don't trade patterns on news events. That's just a thing that you have to learn. But definitely, we're coming down very quickly right now. And we're exactly 5 minutes and 50 seconds out before the data comes out. Where are you from? I'm from the Netherlands and currently living in Dubai. Poll. Let's make a poll real quickly. That will be amazing, actually. That will be absolutely amazing. Let me quickly make a poll for everyone out there. Are we going to be pumping or dumping, guys? Pump. Dump. Okay, I quickly asked it, so make sure to vote on the poll. And quickly, before we get the data out here, will be absolutely amazing if you slap up that like button. We're only at 200 likes and we're watching with like 1,500. So it will be amazing if you can slap up that like button right now here. If we break below support, I'm going to act straight away with some new trades here on the market. I'm going to analyze it live straight away on how I'm going to be trading this. If we break below this key level of support right here, it's going to be absolutely crucial to flip our bias straight away. So that is exactly what I will be doing as well on the stream. Make sure to check it out, guys. Make sure to vote as well on the poll what you think is going to be happening, pump or dump, so we can see what the viewers are thinking. So we can really see that the volatility is definitely turning up right now. I'm loving to see it. We're right in the last 5-minute candle before the data comes out. And usually like this candle right here we're currently in tends to be usually one of the most volatile candles before everything goes down here. So it's important to watch it right now here. Stick in the stream because you will be also the first one to know what the inflation reports are going to be. And it looks to be that it is going to come in somewhere around like 6.2 or 6.1%. If it comes in below 6.2%, honestly, we're going to be experiencing a crazy pump. If it comes in around 5, then it's going to be an absolutely epic pump. It's going to be epic. We could be like trading around $23,000 in like a matter of seconds or even minutes. So it's going to be amazing. It is going to be amazing. I'm going to keep you guys up to date. We're 5 minutes out. We're exactly 5 minutes out. So let me see. Netherlands, yeah, guys. Only not living there, unfortunately, anymore, but it's definitely a beautiful country. Should I open a position on Bitcoin? If you don't have... I mean, of course, I'm not your financial advisor whatsoever, so you can do whatever you want, but I should be definitely weighted. I mean, I already entered this trade a while ago on the support box on the lower side, and I only like to trade support and resistance, and not necessarily news events. Of course, currently I'm still in a trade, but I should not really anticipate it by that. So be very careful with trading. Just wait before we do know which direction the market is heading towards, because literally in 4 minutes time, in like 3 minutes and 11 seconds, we exactly know what the direction is of the market. And right now, we just don't have a clue yet. All in short, what's your current target of the trade? I'm currently targeting 22.5k. The stop loss is in profit. So if we are going to dump on the news, I'm going to, of course, exit my trade in profit and switch my bias if we break below the support. If we do manage to hold on towards the support, I'm maybe even going to catch up a new trade here. Because still, I really want to be longing this support right here. And they could be faking us out, right? So I really want to be longing this support. If we break below it, I'm going to go and swap my bias towards an even further continuation of this downward trend we're currently in, right? And if we do manage to be breaking back above this level, I'm going to swap my bias to more bullish in the continuation. So important to look at, and the data that is currently going to come out is going to be having a massive effect on what like the bias is going to be on the market in towards the following week, and it will really determine what the momentum is going to be for Bitcoin in the coming week. So important data, guys, and we need to watch it all together. And I've got the charts already for you guys out there. So make sure to stick in the stream. It's getting very exciting because we're only 2 minutes out right now. Very, very exciting day here. It's Valentine's Day. If you've got a girlfriend and you're still watching this, you're an absolute legend. They need to be... we'll speak Arabic soon. Man, I'm trying to learn, man. It's so extremely hard only. Set up timer on 1 minute. Let's do it. Let's set it on 1 minute. We're exactly, let's keep it on 5. I think 5 is more exciting. Exactly 1 minute and 30 seconds out. When do we get the info on the reports? Like usually like 5 seconds. I've got it within like 5 to 10 seconds. Usually like the website, so many people are trying to refresh it, so it tends to take some time here. So let's see how fast I can get it, but usually within 5 to 10 seconds, I've got the report. So if you're in the stream here, I will let you know straight away what the data is going to be. And like 5 minutes after the data comes out, we're going to also analyze it, what kind of an effect it will have on the macro perspective on the price action of Bitcoin. But it is, whoa, it's moving up. It's moving up right now. And to be very clear, the reports are not out yet. The reports are not out yet, but we're moving up. We're moving up significantly. 30 more seconds. 35. Slap up that like button for good faith, everyone. Slap up that like button. Someone knows. No, I don't think so. Usually there's just a lot of volatility before it happens. 20 more seconds. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Let's go. Let's see what it's going to be. And there we go. Refreshing. Website is loading. And we're... Whoa, that's a crazy move. It's not refreshing yet. Big wick towards the downside already. Okay, I've got it. It's... 0... It's exactly as estimated. Exactly as estimated, guys. So it's coming in on 6 point. Let me see. It's exactly as estimated. That's at least what I know right now. Quickly refreshing my hops, and I don't know if it's coming in at where it was anticipated. It's not likely to see a big dump, so there could be some volatility towards both directions. We can currently see moving now. Whoa, we came very close towards my stop loss target here. If it will be getting triggered, will be unfortunate, but that is going to be all right for me. It came in exactly like anticipated, and it's let me quickly load it up right here. Core inflation, boom. Like here, the website is still loading. Quickly checking on the price chart. It's trading on it's creating a big wick on the lower side actually. So if the website loads up. So it's either 6.2 or 6. Here it's 6.4. Oh wait, it's not like expected. It's 6.4. Whoa, it's higher than expected actually. It's 6.4%. That's definitely definitely not nice actually. It's definitely not nice at all. 6.4%. That's actually quite terrible. That's the reason why we're dumping as well. I saw some other estimations that we came in like expected. Core inflation on 5.6. So core inflation around 5.6. Consensus was like 5.5. So it's coming in worse than expected. This is very bad actually. This is very bad. And probably this is not nice at all. This is not nice at all. Also 6.4% for the US inflation. This is not nice at all actually. So pretty unfortunate to see this happening, of course, and that's the reason why we're currently coming down here. But actually the dump is not so bad. We're holding up. We're holding up quite well here, but I can tell you already, I don't think it's going to be good at all. I mean, right now we're getting bought up, but probably the trend is going to continue towards the downside because really what is going to be... Oh, this is a crazy wick. Holy F. But let me quickly explain why I currently think the bias is probably going to swap around here. So Bitcoin is bouncing like, like immense crazy. I don't know why, because if you look at the data, you can currently see it. Let me refresh the page again because it's not all loaded up in. It's not loaded in at all here. You can see the actual inflation data. Core inflation is 5.6. While the consensus and the expectation was 5.5. That is crazy. It's coming higher. It's coming in higher than expected, and the market is bouncing like this. That's either showing that Bitcoin is very strong. Let me quickly check the DXY. DXY is falling down here, even though it's coming in higher than expected. That's usually not what happens. And the S&P is also moving up. Either it's coming in higher than expected. This is actually very weird to see. This is super weird to see. This is crazy. I've never seen this before. So 6.4% is the actual inflation. And the consensus was 6.2, 6.3 in terms of the forecast, 6.3 and consensus 6.2. So it's coming in higher than expected. And still the markets are bouncing towards the upside. It doesn't make any sense. So markets are reacting very weirdly towards this movement. Bitcoin also. I think I am actually going to close my trade right now. I'm thinking actually about closing my trade because what probably is going to be happening right now, since inflation is apparently higher and it's more sticky because the core inflation is still on 5.6%. Due to this fact, if of course it's coming down 0.1%, Jerome Powell could be more hawkish in the next... he can hammer down the markets even more. So I'm actually going to be closing my trade here. I'm actually going to do my trade right now. I'm going to close it. I know I'm going to close in $1,100 in profit. I'm going to do a quick market close. Boom. The reason why I did this, guys, maybe you think, oh, you're stupid, or why you're closing your trade right now, the market could come up. If the market goes up further on, it's okay. It's okay. I missed some profits. But for me, it is important to... It's for you as well. But at least how I trade the market, it's important to understand the... momentum we're probably going to see right now here due to the effect of this data. There could be some more hawkish words from Jerome coming, and that's why the market could tank a little bit more. So I closed my trade. I did not reach my price target. Still managed to close it in like 35% profit. Am I saying it correctly? $1,000 in profit. That's like... It's like 35% in profit. I managed to close my trade in 35% profit. So I'm okay with it. I wish I could take more profits on this trade, but I unfortunately can't because the risk is too high to lose all the profits. So sometimes you just have to take the profits, and no one goes broke by taking profits, right? So that is important to know here. Quickly doing another analysis on the market. Since right now this inflation is coming in so high, let me quickly also check on the food inflation actually, because that's also important. Maybe that's the reason why we are recovering so quickly, because the food inflation is coming down quickly. So food inflation dropped by 0.3%. It's not bad. It could be better actually. Let me check here. Food inflation loss. Yeah. So it came down 0.3%. It's not bad. It could be better. Let's keep it at that. But currently, yeah, markets are holding up surprisingly well. Any profits are good. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So let's see what the next trading plan is, because right now we closed our trade, and what we're going to do right now is look at the next potential entry, right? So I'm going to be probably wait a day for the markets to settle down. That's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to wait a bit for the markets to settle down, and then tomorrow in my next update video on YouTube, I'm going to really talk about my next trading setup. Because right now I think it's just too risky right now to already say where I'm going to enter my trades, because the market could become and develop a little bit more today here. I think, like in the bigger perspective, for the macro environment, it's bad. Even though markets are reacting positively towards it in the short term, you can see already the S&P 500, it's right now wicking. It's wicking like crazy. On the 1 minute time frame, you can see it's coming down very quickly. So I'm not saying markets are going to crash today. No, not at all. I only think you should maybe stand on the sidelines a little bit here to see really what the direction is of the market. The reason why Bitcoin is maybe going to hold up a little bit better here compared to the S&P here is due to the fact, not this fact, but let me quickly show this, is due to this fact. Because the S&P 500 has been basically outperforming Bitcoin a little bit here on the drop-off. You can see the S&P 500 has been moving up steadily and holding, and Bitcoin has been dropping due to the bad news of course, staking getting banned by Kraken, etc. So that is only one of the reasons why Bitcoin could maybe hold up a little bit better. But in terms of the macro perspective, it's definitely a worse development. It's not a good development at all. Looking at some important support lines, you can see that we did not trigger our stop loss. But looking at some important levels, we're of course still holding on towards it. On the 4-hourly time frame, in terms of the pure Bitcoin analysis, is looking good. Only the macro perspective has been changing a little bit here. So yeah, it's going to be actually quite all right here. And right now, maybe I'm just going to take it slow here for my next trade. I'm going to wait to see what's going to come in at. Bitcoin, like you can see right now, I already closed it at a higher price here. So first, it wicked very significantly towards the upside, but right now it's coming down slowly and slowly here. So I am actually very glad I did close my trade here. Just going to wait for the next one. 6.4 was considered bad, but this is a new way of measuring based on the 1 period instead of 2. Really? I was not aware about that. There's a new way of measuring it based on 1 period instead of 2. Oh, that's actually very interesting. I've not read about it, that they were doing a new way of calculating it, but you can see markets are tanking actually. I'm not saying it's good to short right now. I'm not shorting at all. People are asking, are you going to short Bitcoin? I mean, the only reason why I should be shorting Bitcoin is if we break below this support box. If we break below this key box of support, I am actually going to short Bitcoin. And if you want to be staying up to date about that, you should definitely subscribe to the channel right now. Because I'm going to, like always, I share my trading setups on YouTube. I share them on my Telegram. I share them live in my videos or either live in my streams. If I'm going to go open a new short or a new trade in general, you should definitely subscribe to the channel. But currently, I'm just waiting for trend direction, right? So to see where the market is really heading towards. DXY is coming up again. Let me quickly check up on it. DXY is indeed bouncing. Still not breaking above this key level of resistance. So still we're in a downward trend, right? So it's important to look at that. It's safe to hedge. Indeed, it's always safe to hedge your bets. It's definitely not bad at all. But the only reason for me to open up a short is if we do see that continuation below this very key box of support. If we see a break below this level right here, it's going to be key important for me to close. And also another reason, like for me, it's different than for you, right? I don't know what your trading strategy is here, but for me, I was already long with like 150K on my other trade, and that trade is right now like a $30,000 profit. So for me, it makes sense to close the other trade. And like I'm trading with 2 accounts. One is the inverse perpetual, so for Bitcoin, for my swing trades. I think swing trades you should always do in inverse perpetual, and with scalping trades, I'm always doing them based in USD tether. So that was with my other account, with my USDT account. So with my USDT account, I usually trade like with only maximum 20K or something, like 20 or 30K. And with my swing trade account, I sometimes like trade with 200 or 300K. So it really depends. It depends on what your strategy is. So for me, it makes more sense to close the trade because I was already long on Bitcoin. It's just hedging the bets. So looking at the 1 hour time frame, actually, because people are also asking about it. I mean, we are in a downward trend, right? So on the 1 hour time frame, we are in a downward trend. We're forming lower highs. We're forming actually also lower lows. So we're in a bearish continuation. The question right now is, are we going to create a lower low, or are we going to create a higher high? Because that is the confirmation of where the trend is actually heading towards. So far, we're still in a bearish trend. For me to really maybe start to consider, okay, I still actually want to be opening up that next long, I need to see a break above this previous high. If we see a break above this previous high right here, I'm thinking, okay, right now maybe we could start to create that continuation towards the upside, and we could start to create that massive reversal in the market. So I am actually right now waiting for that. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for more confirmations. And right now, I'm just seeing not enough confirmations to actually open up a good trade here. And also, I'm not seeing enough confirmations for my long to be comfortable enough in my long position. Yeah, I know. Last CPI release, you kept the live stream on without knowing it. I know. I was just doing some other stuff, and I apparently had my stream still open. So that was actually pretty terrible indeed. Let me see. We're creating a head and shoulders. Yeah, that's actually very interesting to see. I've been discussing it already. It's a lot of speculation actually for this pattern right here, but there is some new crazy patterns unfolding on like the bigger perspective. You can see right here on the daily time frame, we're creating this crazy pattern here. This is a crazy pattern, definitely. So you can see left shoulder getting created, a big head getting created right here, and a potential right shoulder right here. If we do get like this consolidation and then boom, movement towards the upside, well, it's going to be absolutely crazy. It's going to be absolutely crazy because that is going to be in head and shoulders. That is going to be giving us a crazy price target. I'm not going to be speculating. I'm not going to say, oh, this is where we're going towards, but I quickly want to say it actually. So I am actually going to say, but if we do create this pattern, and it's not confirmed, we're not creating it yet at all, we could be moving up to 35k. So that could be absolutely crazy. In order to create this pattern, we need to see a beautiful right shoulder getting created. So something like this. If we tend to like consolidate for like another 4 or 5 days, maybe even 2 weeks, will be amazing actually around this region. I want to see more consolidation around this region. That will be amazing. If we see more consolidation around this region, I'm going to love it. If we're not going to be breaking down, I'm going to love it because it's going to give me more confidence about this region to trade it. And it's going to give me more confidence about the more macro perspective, because on the macro, on the daily time frame, we are definitely in an uptrend, right? So quickly, I also want to discuss this before everyone goes here, because yeah, I know the CPI data came out. But I quickly want to be discussing this as well. So let me make this beautiful because I like beautiful charts. Let me make this like this. So you can currently see we created the golden cross, right? So boom, here's the golden cross. Take this in account, the price section of what we're currently seeing. So let me also quickly go to, this chart is not even having it. Okay, let me go to a different chart then at the same time. So this is this chart, boom. And let me also open up a new chart, daily time frame. Let me go to this, the Bitcoin index. Let me quickly get the right chart in front of me straight away. And let me open up also the same indicator. Boom. I also have to make it a little bit different. So please give me some time here, because this is definitely a very interesting signal that people need to be paying attention towards, because yeah, the development in terms of like this movement is so similar towards 2019. So this is the 2019 bear market, right? So quickly going to say, we had a big crash. We had, of course, the recovery phase, a lot of sideways consolidation at the bear market. Then we had that small movement towards the upside, consolidation. And look at this. We had a golden cross. We had a golden cross, the 50 to 200 daily moving average crossing with each other. And at the point the golden cross actually occurred, the day after, or like on the day itself, I think, yeah, it was the day after, we saw quite a significant crash towards the downside. This is what we're seeing right now as well, because if I'm looking at the price section of Bitcoin right now, you can see if I'm putting up this horizontal vertical line, you can see literally 2 days after the golden cross occurred, we saw a movement towards the downside. Not really a crash, but like a, what was it, like an 10% movement towards the downside. And here as well, this was the golden cross happened, and we moved in like 15 or 14%, but the market was also less mature at that point. We moved down. We had the golden cross, we moved down. What happened afterwards? We saw like 4 or 5 days of sideways consolidation, and after that, we started to see another run up. So here we saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of consolidation, and then we start to see another big green run up here. Right now, we've been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 5th day of sideways consolidation, and at that point, we start to see, of course, a big rally towards the upside getting generated. So actually, like, if you look at these bear markets, it's so extremely similar. It looks so extremely similar. I'm not saying it's going to be playing out like exactly like the 2019 bear market or 2018, 2019 bear market, but it is looking extremely similar if you want to be talking about fractals. So, important thing to consider how the previous bear market played out here. We're currently seeing a very similar situation play out here. If we really see that continuation towards the upside, I think if we do manage to break above $25,000, my real targets are going to be around $35,000 to $40,000 for Bitcoin. Before then, just like in the 2019 bear market, have a massive crash down towards like levels of like 7,000. So that was like 2 weeks from the bottom, like to levels from to $30,000 or $25,000 again. So I think it could be likely to see similar movements happening, just like the previous bear market. It's definitely important to consider. And basically, once we do broke above that high yet again, we start to see an even more exponential rally. So this one was already quite exponential, but like on the bigger perspective, you could see like something like, oh, that's crazy. Something like this. Like that you, like maybe right now we're going to see a sideways consolidation for like 2 months. And then in the next round, it's sideways consolidation for like only 1 week or 2 weeks. And then of course it ends and it comes down very quickly again. That's basically what I'm expecting, like in terms of a relief rally. It could be very likely to happen, something like that. So, crazy important. I hope this isn't the bottom. For me, I mean, I truly hope it isn't the bottom, because then I can buy more cheap Bitcoin, right? I've got more time to be buying more Bitcoin. So, yeah, let's see what is going to be playing out here. So, I know everyone wants me to right now open up a trade, because that's why I like to do it myself as well. But sometimes you just have to be patient. Sometimes you just can't always open up a trade. And that is also right now. I just can't open up a trade right now. And quickly, before going further towards the content, don't forget to slap up that like button, guys. We're watching with 1,500 of you guys out there. If you're not subscribed yet here, I share my trading setups. I'm completely transparent. I show my losses. I show my profits on my YouTube channel, my Twitter, everywhere, but especially on my YouTube channel right here. So consider slapping up that like button, consider subscribing to the channel, but can we at least smash it up to 700 likes? It would be amazing. I mean, if everyone pressed the like button right now, we got like 1,400 likes. And I think we can easily do that. It's like a few seconds of work and we really appreciate it. But everyone wants me to open up a trade right now, but sometimes you just have to wait a little bit here before you get the opportunity, because you don't look for the trade. You have to trade. The trade has to come to you. You don't chase the trade. Never chase the trade. That's the last thing you need to do here. So consider that. Consider not chasing the trade. Now beginning to change your tone. Amazing. It doesn't affect the market. I mean, it clearly did something, but it didn't really screw up the market like the last times. Because in the last inflation reports, it really screwed up the market sometimes. As long as we hold the 19K, we're still in a bear market. I mean, we are technically speaking still in a bear market. In my opinion, if we break above 25K, that's the point where we could really start to reverse. So that is really my target that I'm aiming for. And actually right now, to be very honest, I discussed the majority of the things I needed to discuss. So what I'm going to be doing right now here is wrap up the stream. Oh, my camera, what is happening here? So I'm going to right now wrap up the stream here. I found it absolutely amazing here. So thank you so much for everyone who did tune in towards the stream. If you do like the content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And stay up to date on my YouTube channel if you want to be seeing more of my live trades here. Currently, I'm waiting for the next opportunity. If I see the next opportunity, you will be the first one to know. Today, we closed our trade in 36% in profit. And that's absolutely amazing. I made another $1,000, so I can spend it all again today on cool stuff. I don't know. No, I'm not spending it. I'm going to be buying more Bitcoin. So, sorry for that. But yeah, it was an absolutely amazing trade. I hope you love the stream here. We'll be back tomorrow with another update video, and maybe even tonight. I mean, if there's going to be any significant developments in the market, I will always try to jump live here. But only if there's like something very significant, like a big crash or a big dump. I'm going to be jumping live straight away to trade it with everyone out there, give an update on the market. So don't forget to turn up the bell notifications, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.